and then the mom in the back. So anyway, when it came time to trial, nobody could find his girlfriend. This is her right here. This is her over here. Nobody could find the girlfriend. So because the girlfriend couldn't be found, they found the mom. The mom showed up. They tried to prove that the mom was getting paid by Melly and the team. The mom was mad hostile on the stand. The mom was holding it down. The daughter, who was Melly's girlfriend, nobody could find. They now found Melly's girlfriend. They, or ex-girlfriend, that's what they're calling her. They arrested her at Miami airport. Watch this.
A wild new update in the Cortland.
Here we go. So this was the mom. The mom was acting mad, not cooperative, right? And here we go about the arrest. By the way, this girl, this was his ex. Basically, she was like basically trying to she was dating one of the guys. No, not dating one of the guys. My bad. She was dating Melly, and nobody could find her for court, but she did an interview. Like, what the fuck? Like, imagine the police looking for you and the court looking for you. Nobody can find you, but you do an interview, right? So let me just go back to that.
To cooperate with law enforcement.
Objection. Asked and answered.
Different question.
Why don't you come sidewalk?
Now, months after that testimony and weeks after that mistrial was declared, Mariah, who didn't testify during Melly's first trial, sat down with our very own Jesse Weber in September of 2023 to give her side of her story.
I think a lot of people wanted to hear from you. I think a lot of people were expecting to see you at the trial. And there's been some issues in terms of what's been happening with the police. If you can explain to people why we haven't seen you or heard from you.
You guys haven't seen or heard from me because I'm currently wanted.
What the fuck? Why would you do an interview and just say that? What?
I've tried to get the warrant lifted plenty of times, but it's just been like a constant battle with my lawyer and the prosecutor. So I've just been, laying low, trying to get the warrant lifted before I could even come in and, speak my part.
You said that there's an arrest warrant, it's still out, it's still outstanding.
Now, she's being facetious here because the arrest warrant is because she's not showing up for a subpoena to testify. And here's the thing. They would have lifted the warrant and not arrested her if she had complied, but she basically don't want to comply, or she want to do it on her own terms. She has a lawyer. She was doing this interview from a lawyer's office, and they were trying to figure out some way to lift the warrant without her showing up and testifying. And basically, the cops are like, no, you're going to show up and fucking testify. So at that point, she was still wanted. Anyway.
Why do you feel comfortable coming out now and talking about this?
Because I just want people to know that I'm not running because of like any money or anything like that. It's because I don't want to go to jail for something that I did. I don't want to go to jail for something that I didn't do or something that I'm not a part of. I just feel like people's looking at my side of this. They're looking at me wrong, and that's not what they're showing is not true, basically.
Now, we've covered this a number of times at Law and Crime. Last year and months after the mistrial, there's been so many changes to the case.
Now, let me tell you, and again, I know I'm cutting them off, but I just want to give you the details that you guys probably have missed. This case is interesting because according to the prosecutors, they believe that Cortland Henry, which is YNW Bortland, and also obviously anybody associated with Melly, including his girlfriend, managers, mom, anybody else, they're pretty much all like playing the song and dance, all to keep Melly from getting convicted. What is the song and dance? The song and dance is that no one is cooperating, right? So again, remember this case is based on circumstantial evidence. 2 people die in a car. They claim it was a drive-by shooting. There doesn't seem to be much evidence that would say that. It actually points to that the gun was fired in the car. Nobody has confessed. Nobody has said nothing. But they do need things that could prove the timeline and all these other things because they do have a lot of GPS and other forensic data, including ballistics, that kind of could show certain shit. but they need people to verify certain things, but everybody goes ghost. So for example, Bortland and his family, when they need somebody to come in, everybody's on vacation. They can't find half the people. They need Melly's girlfriend, they can't find her. So it's one of those situations where they already did the whole trial and got a mistrial, and now they need a smoking gun. Here's what's happening for Melly on the second time he's about to go to trial, because, by the way, they still haven't granted him bond. The judge scolded the Broward Sheriff's Office, or the sheriff, the head sheriff from the Broward Sheriff's Office, by saying, yo, you've had this guy locked up in Broward County Jail for 6 years. It's been, actually, it's going on 7 years. He's been locked up since 2018. It's going on 7 years you have him locked up. He's having health conditions, according to him. His teeth are rotten because he got all these like diamond shit going on in there. His health is deteriorating. And, you know, you guys have done a trial already that was unsuccessful. You know, if he's claiming that, you know, he's not allowed phone time, he is, you know, he claimed a lot of things. He actually filed it in federal court, where he's looking for relief from the federal government to say he's living in inhumane circumstances. Basically, the judge is even saying, bro, what are y'all doing? He's been locked up for 7 fucking years. You get what I'm saying? So that's all a part of it. And, you know, they're going to put him back on trial. Supposedly it's going to happen this year. Might move to next. I think it's going to be this year. It's just been taking too long. Like, bro, like, yo, 7 years till a trial? And especially it's a high profile one. It's crazy. Obviously he had a trial previously, but, you know, mistrial. So we're going to see what happened with that. Anyway, here we go. They're going to explain how they arrested Shorty.
One of Melly's attorneys is no longer on her arrest. She went out of the...
Oh, and by the way, this is the last thing I was trying to say. Melly is he's up a few points, theoretically, because Melly has gotten... Melly has been following the proper, and we talked to Bradford Cohn about this, he's been following the proper motions, pre-trial motions. So he's getting a lot of the shit thrown out of court that they can't use again. So the prosecutor's case just looked weaker than it looked before, and before it got a mistrial. So if it looks like they're going to have to come in with the weaker case. That's why they're going so hard to try to lock up his ex, and they need these people now, right? Here we go.
Country to celebrate her birthday. Did you warn her she might have...
Oh, and apparently that's her lawyer. Okay, that's her lawyer. My bad, Chad. So that's her lawyer. She gotta look a little good. Okay. All right, Melly.
Basically.
Does she look like her Instagram business?
Now, we've covered this a number of times at Law and Crime. Last year and months after the mistrial, there's been so many changes to the case. One of Melly's attorneys is no longer on the case.
Somebody said, what makes it high profile? We watched every day of the trial. Like, it was a trial that got tens of thousands of viewers live. It was televised. It was covered day in and day out. It was a high profile trial, sir.
More notably, the prosecution table will look a lot different for his second trial, when Christine Bradley was removed by the judge and later replaced by Alexandra Buckaloo. Now, Mariah's attorney tells Law and Crime he spoke with the prosecutor about a year ago about whether or not a warrant actually existed for Mariah. He was told previously there wasn't a warrant out, but then when the new prosecution stepped in, he was told there was an active warrant. So you can see how confusing this all got, and now she's being held in jail on no bond until she can get before a judge.
Wow, so they're trying to force her to testify against Melly, or it's clear, you know. By the way, here's the rumor, and we're just gonna say rumor. The rumor was that Melly paid her and her mom like an exorbitant amount to go on vacation, help them buy a house, for them to chill. You get what I'm saying? Back up, like fall back out of the way, and that's why she was quote unquote on vacation. She's not with him, so it's not like she just loves him and blah, 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 blah. But she ain't, it don't seem like she want to testify and be like, Melly did anything wrong anyway.
I'm joined now by Mariah Hamilton's attorney, that's Chris Barris. Chris, thank you so much for being here today. I got to ask, have you spoken with your client? How is she doing and what's she saying?
I have spoken to her when she was arrested, and also when she was transported to Miami-Dade County Jail. She's a little bit older now. She's 24 years old. So she's, it's still hard to be in a jail situation. She's never been in any trouble in her life. But she's okay. She's dealing with it, and we hope to get her in front of a judge very, very, very soon.
And talk to me a little bit more about her arrest. She went out of the country to celebrate her birthday. Did you warn her she might have issues coming back, or did she even know that there was a warrant out for her right now?
We talked about the possibility that there might be a warrant in existence. The prosecutor had, indicated to me at one time that there was a warrant. Other law enforcement had
Damn, this nigga talk slow, man. Let me speed this bitch up. Holy.
indicated to me that there was no warrant that they could find in the warrant system when they checked. So we did talk about that. I did not think it would be a good idea to travel internationally, because what happens is when you return to the United States, immigration, U.S. immigration, that is, will check the manifest of an airline for every passenger to determine if there's any warrants or any other holds on them. And I couldn't say either way whether there was a warrant. So my advice was not to travel at all. Yeah.
And this warrant that the prosecution has, so is it kind of stemming from them wanting to talk to her more about the case? Or was this kind of a thing that, it happened with the old prosecution with Christine Bradley and was just put back into effect when Alexandra Buckaloo took over the case? Talk to me a little bit more about this warrant and what it all entails.
Okay. First, we're using the term warrant. My understanding that this is a writ of bodily attachment which is civil in nature. I'm not sure at all what she failed to do. It's not clear because I haven't been presented with this warrant. I haven't seen it, although I've asked for it a number of times. I haven't seen any of the supporting documents for it. What I mean by that is when a police officer wants to obtain a warrant, they go in front of a judge with an affidavit claiming probable cause for, in this case, we're talking about an arrest, for someone's arrest. And they normally also present some supporting evidence for that affidavit. I have yet to see any of this. So, if what the prosecutor is saying, Ms. Hamilton had a court date and she failed to appear, well then, please show me the subpoena that she was issued to appear for that court date.
All right, they bullshit, man. You know exactly why she getting locked up, man. They want her to testify and they want her to cooperate. And here's the thing. This might be a big break for the prosecutor because I'm going to be honest with you, she's not his current girlfriend. This woman, I don't know if this woman is down to hang out in jail till maybe the duration of the trial, which I think the trial last time took months. I don't know if she's down to just be in jail for months just to, in the name and sake of holding it down for Melly. She might just be like, all right, I'm down to get on the stand. And that's kind of how it works. If they've subpoenaed you, right, you could fight the subpoena. But if you refuse to adhere to the subpoena, or if a judge says, okay, no, the subpoena is valid, there's only a couple ways you could go by this. You could sit down with the prosecutor and say, hey, listen, I don't want to get on the stand, but I'll work with you in this capacity, right? Cooperate. Who knows? Maybe they're like, yo, I don't know. You have a video, you have an audio recording of him. Give us the audio recording, right? And then be like, all right, cool. We want to bring her up on the stand. Or it looked like they want to really bring her up there to question her. And I don't know if she could actually avoid that, which I think that's going to be the problem. All right. All righty then. All righty. Okay. Let me see what else is going on out here in the streets. Should we go with this one? I guess. All right. So, and hold on, give me 1 second. What the fuck? All right. I don't know where this. Let me just go to my Instagram. So apparently, Soulja Boy and Tyga and all these people are beefing with Bad Baby. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, this is kind of getting a little messy.